Salve. In this video we're going to learn about first declension nouns. First of all, you may be wondering what a declension is. Well, a declension is a group of nouns that use the same endings and follow the same rules. But this is a language, so there will of course be some exceptions and irregularities. First declension nouns are almost all feminine in gender, and their endings are dominated by the letter A, as we'll see in a moment. Some of these first declension nouns have been brought into English as loan words and have actually maintained their original Latin plural forms. Examples of these are antenna, alumna, larva, vertebra, and alga, which in English we pretty much only see in the plural anyway. The plural forms of these words are in both English and Latin: antennae, alumni, larvae, which we more commonly pronounce larvae, vertebrae, which we pronounce vertebrae, and algae, which we of course pronounce algae. So we can see that first declension nouns are made plural by changing the A on the singular form to an AE. Now for each declension we'll learn the endings for the 5 major cases. Those cases are the nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and ablative. In Latin, case endings are used to show what part of the sentence a word is, such as a subject, a direct object, or a possessive, but we'll get more info on that later in another video. Also, there are 2 other cases called the vocative and the locative, but they're not nearly as commonly used as these 5, so we'll worry about those later as well. So the endings for first declension are a, I, and ah. You'll notice that the ablative singular and the nominative singular are the same except for the accent mark. You can use that to help you tell the 2 apart. The plurals are I, arum, is, as, and is. So when you decline any noun, here's the process. I'll give you the nominative and the genitive singular forms. So for example, here we have the forms of the word puella, which means girl. You need to take the genitive singular and remove the ending, which in this case is AE. Whatever is left will be your stem. Then you need to add on the other endings. So if you're provided with these 2 forms, you can form everything else. First you figure out that the stem of the word is puel. Then you take that stem and add the correct endings for the other cases. So you'll get puelai, puelam, puella, puelai, puellarum, puellis, puellas, and puellis. Okay, so now let's try another one. This is patria, which means country or homeland. Patriotic is a pretty obvious derivative of this word. So our other forms for this will be patriae, patriam, patria, patriae, patriarum, patriis, patrias, and patriis. The most common mistake students make with this noun and others like it is leaving off one of the I's in the dative and the ablative plural forms. This is understandable because English words virtually never have 2 I's in a row. On the other hand, English words have 2 E's or 2 O's in a row quite often in words such as queen or book. So for us as English speakers, it just doesn't look right to have those 2 I's there. But think through the process that you're going through. First, we figure out that the stem is patri by dropping off the AE. That stem will be used in all forms. So for the dative and ablative plural, we take that stem and we add the IS ending, which gives us patriis. And getting that vowel right is important, and here's why. So patriis is the ablative plural form of a first declension noun. Could be dative plural as well, but ablative is a little bit more likely for this noun. But taking that I out would give us the word patris, which is actually the genitive singular form of a third declension noun that means father. This might seem strange that taking out that one vowel could make such a big difference. But think about how many words in English can completely change meaning if you leave out 1/2 of a double vowel. Okay, so that's it for first declension. Let me know if you have any questions. Wale.